In the previous video we mentioned the fact that we're going to install an Ftp server to allow us to transfer files onto our Raspberry Pi much more easily. To install an Ftp server we simply need to type sudo apt-get install vsftp. That should be vsftpd. As with other packages, this may take a few moments to install, and so I'll speed this part of the video up. So now that this is installed, we're going to go ahead and configure it to our exact needs. To do that, we're going to type sudo nano etc, and we're going to open up the specific configuration file for vsftp, which is vsftpd.conf. For the purposes of this video, we're not going to worry about users specifically, and we're going to allow any user to connect to our file server anonymously. If you want to restrict access, which is something that in most cases you're going to want to do, you will need to change anonymous enabled to no. But as I say, we're going to keep this enabled for now. We're also going to want every single user to be able to write to our Ftp server, and so we need to uncomment write enable. There are a whole host of other options available within this configuration file, and so I would encourage you, if you're going to use this in a permanent basis, to actually go through and configure this to your exact settings. For example, if you want to allow specific users to use your Ftp server, you may wish to only allow them to upload files into their own directories, rather than being able to upload directly to any folder that they want to. When you've finished setting up the configuration file as you like it, you can exit it and save the changes. And then we're going to need to restart the Ftp server, which we do by typing sudo /etc/init.d/vsftpd space restart, and that should be init. We're then going to need to install an Ftp client on our computer, which we're going to transfer files from. In this case I'm using Bulletproof FTP, bpftp.com, and I'm just going to download the free trial, which we can do by clicking the download link. Once that's installed, we can just run it to install it and launch. This is going to ask us first off for the IP of our Raspberry Pi, and then the username that we're going to connect with. We didn't actually connect with the username, we just used the anonymous username, because we didn't set up usernames when we were creating our actual server. So I've gone ahead and created a test file on my local machine, which we're going to upload onto our server. To do this, we can simply drag it across into the right, which is the remote current folder. To actually upload it onto our server, we need to go to Commands and then Execute, and that will connect and upload the file for us into our remote directory. And as we can see, that file has now been transferred up onto our Raspberry Pi. As you can see, this is not the most straightforward of processes, and it does require a separate program to actually perform the upload. In the next video we're going to look at streamlining the upload process using a Samba server, which will integrate directly into Windows Explorer, which will obviously make the process a lot more straightforward for us. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it.